It's difficult to remember a year when the BBC wasn't embroiled in some sort of scandal, but 2024 was a particularly traumatic year for the corporation, with top presenters and the BBC's most popular show hitting the headlines for all the wrong reasons. The year marked the most astonishing fall from grace for the BBC's most senior news presenter. Huw Edwards not only fronted the BBC's flagship News at 10, but was the key figure in anchoring huge state occasions like the death of Queen Elizabeth.
Can you all get back? Space, please. Right, get back.
In July, he arrived at Westminster Magistrates Court to answer multiple allegations of possessing indecent images of children.
Is there a cult of
41 pictures and video clips, including 7 of the most serious Category A abuse images, 2 involving a child as young as 7.
Extraordinary scenes at Westminster Magistrates Court where the former BBC presenter Huw Edwards has pleaded guilty to making indecent images of children, some as young as 7.
Almost 2 months later, Huw Edwards was back in the same court for sentencing. And there was widespread anger as he avoided a jail term. Instead, he was handed a 6-month suspended sentence and a court order that he must attend a treatment programme. His legal team said he was deeply remorseful.
Mr. Edwards, do you repent?
The judge ruled against the implementation of a sexual harm prevention order, which would have allowed authorities to monitor his use of the internet. What do you say to your victims, Huw Edwards? With nothing to say to those victims, Huw Edwards left the court, his career in tatters, but having avoided any time behind bars. Jermaine Jenas was another high-profile BBC face sacked by the corporation this year. The one-show presenter and Match of the Day contributor was accused of sending a number of inappropriate messages to female colleagues.
Golden to, be able to say that I was playing for my country.
He had been strongly tipped as a potential replacement for Match of the Day presenter Gary Lineker. After recent controversy over his habit of weighing into contentious political topics in posts on social media, the BBC's highest paid presenter finally announced his decision to leave Match of the Day. A move which we're told had nothing to do with past controversies. The presenter will still front some other sporting events for the BBC, including the next World Cup.
Nonetheless, they have apologised to Amanda Abbington. We'll just read you a short part of that statement. At the time, although the production team took steps to address the issues as they understood them, ultimately these were not enough.
Along with Pernice, fellow professional Graziano De Prima also left Strictly amid allegations he kicked dance partner Zara McDermott is staying put. Two other national scandals dominated the headlines over the past year. Shocking sexual allegations against the former Harrods owner Mohammed Al-Fayed and flawed convictions against hundreds of wrongly accused sub-postmasters were finally quashed. He was for many years one of the UK's most high-profile and powerful businessmen. But for more than 4 decades, Mohammed Al-Fayed, it's now clear, abused his power in the most appalling way. Sexually assaulting, even raping women who worked for him or who came into contact with him during his time in control of Harrods, Fulham Football Club and other business interests. A renewed appeal by Scotland Yard for people to come forward revealed many new potential victims.
150 people have contacted the Metropolitan Police with either allegations or information about this abuse, and from that 150, the Met has identified 90 new alleged victims, some with multiple allegations against Mohammed Al-Fayed.
There are serious questions over the way in which the Metropolitan Police handled initial allegations against Al-Fayed. 21 women made complaints to police between 2005 and the date the tycoon died in 2023, claiming they'd been sexually assaulted by him. But despite being questioned at one point and a number of files sent to the Crown Prosecution Service for consideration, he wasn't charged. Although Al-Fayed can never now face justice, Scotland Yard announced in November that a number of other people are being investigated for possible related offences.
As a result of inquiries so far, we have now launched an investigation into a number of people associated with Mohammed Al-Fayed. This investigation will look at what role those individuals may have played in facilitating or enabling his offending and what opportunities they had to protect victims from his horrendous abuse.
The post office scandal came to a head in 2024. A new law was introduced quashing the wrongful convictions of around 900 sub-postmasters prosecuted for theft and fraud after a faulty IT system mistakenly alleged money was missing at hundreds of branches. Many of those in positions of power, both within the post office and within government, were made to account for the decisions they made that often ignored or exacerbated the plight of those wrongly accused. One of the key witnesses before the Post Office inquiry was Paula Venables, the chief executive of the Post Office from 2012 to 2019.
I fully accept now that the Post Office, the Post Office knew that. I completely accepted. Personally, I didn't know that.
But despite collective hand-wringing over the scandal, just 1 in 10 of the sub-postmasters wrongly convicted has been able to reach a final compensation settlement. Coming up, the past year has been one of the most dangerous the world has faced in decades. Yet the UK has seen more of its military capabilities axed.